this is CG1 and thank you so much for joining me once again. I want to wish you a very happy new year. We've made it, it's 2019, and I wish you all the very best for all your goals and your aspirations this new year. I hope it's going to be a fantastic new year for you with all that you hope to achieve. And so with that in mind, I want to talk to you about a woman, not just any woman, about a blind and deaf woman. See, the woman I want to talk to you about is Hellen Keller. And Hellen Keller, who was born in June 1880, started off life pretty much normal enough. However, at just 19 months, any aspiration of her actually having a normal life just went through the window, because suddenly she contracted some sort of disease that the doctors were even confused about at the time, and this disease robbed her of her eyesight and her hearing, and so just at 19 months she became blind and deaf. I mean, imagine not being able to see or not being able to hear. Like, pretty much she couldn't speak for a very long time in her life or this, that and that. But the interesting thing is she had a very strong determination, and through the assistance from her family and then later on, as she met this wonderful person called Sullivan Macy, who would then pretty much be her carer, who would teach her how to read and write in the most amazing ways, of course. If you have time, do read up. She wrote a very fantastic book on her own life story. And interestingly enough, this lady who I said wrote books, she wrote in fact about 12 or so books, which is astonishing when you consider that she was so much handicapped through her own physical deficiencies, not being able to see or hear. But that didn't stop her, and she lived well past her 80s through a life of inspiration, campaigning for those that are disabled, campaigning for those that are subjugated based on various discrimination. And so the lesson Hellen Keller teaches us, especially at the start of 2019, is this powerful, profound quote, and she says, "Success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and your joy and you shall form an invisible host against difficulties." Wow, how many of us are continuously moaning and saying that, man, like, how do you expect me to be happy when this is wrong and I lost my job and I'm facing this illness or this or that, or I'm facing these financial difficulties? And yet we are reminded that success and happiness lies in us. But then she uses a very profound word, and that's resolve. And to have a resolve is to decide firmly a course of action. See, you can have a resolve to always be happy, that despite of what people do to you, you can still have your joy, because that's not dependent on what others do. See, Hellen Keller teaches us that when we resolve to keep happy, then this forms this host against all difficulties. That, you see, the challenges that you can face in 2019 will not stand any chance against you, because you have made that resolve that you are going to keep striving to make a difference. And if a blind and deaf woman can go through life with such a resolve to learn to read and write and be an inspiration to so many people through her books and her speeches, then you too, despite all your handicaps and difficulties, can make a huge, significant difference. My advice to you for 2019 is to make it the very best year of your life. Because every new year brings with it fresh opportunities. You can't choose right now to make 2018, 2017, 2016 the best year ever. But what you can choose to make 2019 the best year ever. Because at the beginning you received a book, blank pages of 365 pages for you to start writing what you want it to be. So if you want it to be successful, I want to encourage you to ask yourself this question every day. What can I do today to make tomorrow better? What can you do now to make later better? And then when you write these down, you start doing it. See, there might be a course that you need to take in order to improve your skills so that you can actually get further to your goals. There may be a qualification that you need to take you up a notch in your pay bracket so that you can excel in your work. Perhaps there's a book for you to read right now that will make and give you the solutions to the problems tomorrow. What can you do now to make later a whole lot better? Use time like how you would use money. Not to waste it, but to make the most of it, invest in it. This year, have that drive, have that excitement to know that you don't need it to be like the rest of the years. People have become so casual with New Year's that they can just stand there and say that, oh, what's the point? I make resolutions and I break it anyway. But it doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. See, the opportunity of a new year brings freshness and newness. You see, it's the passing of time and it's the opportunity to start again. You can stand and say, it was last year that I didn't keep my word, that I didn't have integrity based on my goals and my aspirations. It was last year that I broke my New Year's resolution, but this year it's a whole new story. People may laugh at you, people may look at you funny, you may have lost hope, but you don't need that past to be your future. The great thing about time is that it's separated through past, present and future. Don't allow your past to be your present. Neither does your present need to be your future, because you have the power to make the difference. This is CG1 and you have the seed of greatness.